Hey ladies and gentlemen, how you guys been doing? It's your boys here and welcome to GPC Wild Cup, I guess we could say tournament. There is a specific rule before we start with today's battle. I just want to say that this is a tournament and there was a draft. But there was no specific rule to the draft. There was no actual tier system. There was everything goes. But there was this one fatal limitation, and that was that basically 32 people were in, and it was in snake order, which means for you to get your second pick, I was actually in the fifth place. For me to get a second pick, it would come down to the fifth person, which means 4 Pokemon would have been taken, and then would have gone down to 32, and then go up to the fifth. So that's about, I don't know, about 60 Pokemon already taken. So I was heavily limited on my second pick and my third pick, and by the time I got to my fourth, it was pretty damn terrible. But anyways, looking at his draft, he's got higher tier mons, I guess I would say. I mean, it depends how you look at it, I think at least. Then again, it could be mistaken, but he does have the threats. He's got quite significant weakness towards ice, but you see, I don't have too many ice, like really ice Pokemon, like Weavile, and Weavile would work incredibly well against that team. That team is incredibly weak to the likes of Weavile and Mamoswine, but it is what it is, and this is going to be one of the 3 matches that I had for the tournament week 1. The second, the other 2 will be coming up, so I hope you're looking forward to that. But without further ado, let's go right into it, shall we? I'm expecting Scizor, Burangaru, or do we say Jellicent? I still kind of prefer Burangaru right there. Shaman, Nidoking, Thundurus, I mean everything outside, Jealous, I mean just about anything can be elite at this point depending on what he actually prefers, as a lead comparing to my team. I'm actually going to lead with Helios, expecting him to lead with Afflosion, because Helios is Scarf and Gardevoir is Scarf, so we got dual Scarfers here. Let's go right into it. Whoa, whoa. Music. Nah, pretty. If you were a headphone user, rest in peace. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But anyways, I'm switching out. Volt Switch. I'm pretty sure he's not going to switch out to his ground Pokemon. I'm just going to try to slow this down a little bit. Because it's a little bit too early, so Volt Switch was pretty obvious, but he did make that middle switch there by switching out to Grass. Takes a Volt Switch quite well. After that, Mega Aggron can take on that Mon, that Shaman, because I'm max special defensive with Filter. And I switch out to my Hitmonlee, expecting the Jellicent, because I'm actually Lumberry Hitmonlee with Unburden, and I kind of wanted him to Will-O-Wisp me and give me my Unburden, and I can knock off with him as well. But he actually sees the knockoff coming. Luckily enough, he doesn't see the Blaze Kick, because normally I think Scizor does have the bulk to take on High Jump Kick, but he does not have the bulk to take on Blaze Kick. So that's quite incredible. Bullet Punch wouldn't one-shot me. I mean, Hitmonlee is frail, but not that frail. So, Custom Suit really pulling in the strength right now. He will make a really good, splendid move by predicting me to switch out to Vaporeon. I mean, it's quite early. I cannot risk, and he is in a position where he has to make some double switches. So Thunder is definitely a threat, and he definitely called me out on that particular move quite well as he goes for the +2 on my switch to Gligar, my ace. Now my max special defensive, but if he's got Hidden Power Ice, it's gonna take me out. I mean, without +2 it does about 70%, 60-70%, but basically, yeah, that is still strength with +2, and that is an overkill. So I switch out to Bozo because Gardevoir is much more important, and Bozo being Scarf, I can outspeed. He does luckily connect the Focus Blast there, so that definitely pull in for him. Because if he didn't, then I would have two-shot this. But Gardevoir is mostly the more important card now that Scizor is gone than my Helios will ever be. So I'm looking at his team now, and he knows this is Scarf. He knows that both of my Pokemon are Scarf here. And it really works out because Jellicent, well, basically his Thundurus would pretty much clean if I would have not been Scarf. So I'm just gonna go for Psyshock. I'm looking at my HP here. I'm thinking, how important is HP in comparison to take on Jellicent? And I'm looking at his team and I'm thinking, he doesn't have priority user, at least I don't think, outside a potential Sucker Punch Nidoking. But I'm just gonna be playing it safe here. I mean, I did exchange some HP damage, but to take on Jellicent, taking it out, which kind of walls my Mega Aggron completely, then it's one of those things that I would rather take when still having the chance to do so. So anyways, I'm gonna switch out to Vaporeon now. He's kind of losing Pokemons, but so am I, and I definitely need to pull it through, because Vaporeon can definitely dealt against his team if I can get rid of that Shaman. He doesn't have a switch for Vaporeon, and this is a perfect moment to go for the Ice Beam. But you see, that first moment when we gone for the Volt Switch, we barely did any damage to it, and this damage is little to nothing. I was quite surprised. Is this Assault Vested or is that a max special defense treatment? But I'm not seeing any lefties, which kind of gives me thinking he is Assault Vested without rest and Natural Cure. You know, that's definitely it. But he actually makes a splendid move again by predicting me to switch out to Mega Aggron, of course, predicting the Seed Flare. But Seed Flare's chance to lower my special defense would actually be pretty detrimental if he actually gone for it. Here he actually goes for the Hidden Power Ice. The reasoning is that first time he actually Seed Flare, predicting me to switch out. But there was a reconnection problem, so we had to redo just in case, because Seed Flare actually missed. He decided to go for the Hidden Power Ice now, so the scene is going to be just the same, because in our first match he destroyed me with Thunderous as I killed his Shaman with a Fire Punch Aggron, and this was basically where the game kind of restarted in a way. So anyways, Aggron's second base is going to come in. I am Scarf. I can lock myself into Psy Shock, pretty much my greatest bet. Moonblast he will pretty much take. And looking at his Nidoking, Psyshock is pretty much a no-brainer here. So I know he is Scarf. I have to switch out. I'm gonna switch out to my custom suit Hitmonlee, and sadly enough, 50% is gonna go into our favor as he's gonna decide to miss. Not really decide to miss, but miss is definitely gonna be a crippling position for him, because a knockoff does about 47%. So that's definitely, you know, a definite degree of KO damage, while Fire Blast is gonna fail short of taking us out because of that miss. Then again, I do have a Vaporeon to come in afterwards, so how big is that? Well, we're just gonna have to see. Anyways, he's gonna go for Thunderbolt here, take me out, of course, normally outspeed me, and being that my Lum is still intact, I still got a Burden. Yeah, I don't got Fake Out on this one because of Jellicent. I had a completely different situation in my head, preparing myself for it. But anyways, Aggron's second base, Gardevoir coming in and just going for the Psy Shock, locking myself into it. If he is Scarf, he will take me out, but then Vaporeon may actually clean. Yeah, he is luckily not Scarf, and my Aggron's second base is gonna take it out. Luckily enough, both of my base, Aggron's base, decided to still stick around in this bell, and that was in a splendid match against Turbo Blaze. Thank you for the match. He did some incredible moves there. You know, some of them were definitely necessary. I can definitely see why he did it, and I can definitely see where I should have definitely have seen them coming, but at the same time I couldn't risk it. I think Heliolisk was not as important as Gardevoir was, as showcased here, especially with Jellicent around and Nidoking, because if I surfed, then Jellicent, you know, would have taken that, and if I go for the T-Ball, then Nidoking would have taken that, and I didn't have switches for the likes of Nidoking. You know, Sludge Bomb still does a lot of damage, or do we say Sludge Wave, and generally speaking, I think that I preserved the right mom for the right situation, and being it was a Scarfer, it was meant to go late game. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that will be for today. Turn 22, a very fast match, but I heard that most people tend to enjoy very fast matches. So if you enjoyed this, be sure to give a like. This will be our first match for this week. Again, as I said, there's going to be 3 matches of you for each week, so there's two matches coming up for actual this week. Again, one is going to be against Eric, another one is going to be against a name I cannot seem to remember right now. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and stay healthy. Take care. Peace.